Hey guys, OldSkoolBrian here. Today I'm doing a video response to Ed T's 1138 Top 3 Tuesday. The question was brought to us by Classic Metal Fan 22. Both of them have awesome channels. I've said it before with Ed. Classic Metal Fan 22, I do enjoy his channel too. It's very cool. He does pickup stuff like that. Definitely a cool channel. The question was, which 3 games would you use to introduce someone to a system? Ed, of course, did the Nintendo. All of his picks I agreed with. They were all great games, especially RC Pro-Am. Classic Metal Fan 22 did the Super Nintendo, and he picked Chrono Trigger, Donkey Kong Country 2, and another one. And I forget what it was, but they were all good games. They were all good games, and I definitely agree with the Chrono Trigger. I mean, you guys know it's one of my favorite games back here somewhere. Man, kill me now. I can't remember what that third game was, but oh well. So that was his question, which very awesome question, very unique question. And in the video, he had said he hoped to see somebody do the Sega Saturn. So I figured, you know, I'd be the one. I'll do the Sega Saturn. Show you some games that I enjoy. Maybe it'll help you pick some out, choose some to pick up. I'm trying to show games that aren't very expensive, but I did throw some honorable mentions in as well, just to give you a better idea of the games that are out there. So I got my top 3. Now, before I show you my top 3, I'm just going to say right off the bat, these aren't necessarily my favorite games, but these are games I would use to introduce somebody to a system. Some of my games are the, much more valuable games. But it's not something that I think would appeal to everybody. So let's go and let me show you. Alright, number 3 would be Virtua Fighter 2. Excellent fighting game, way better than the first one. They really upgraded the graphics and everything for this one when it came out. This is, at the time, was the highest selling game for the system, and it remains the highest selling game ever for the system in Japan. Sold something like 1.7 million copies, something like that. But very cool game. You guys remember this. If you haven't played it on a Saturn, you'll remember an arcade, things like that. In fact, you could still find some that have this in it still to this day that you could play. But definitely a cool fighting game. My next one is one of my favorite games. And that's, and not everybody will agree with me with this one because this is a series of 3 games. And I chose Panzer Dragoon 2 as my number 2. I like Panzer Dragoon 2 the best. It was much better than the first one. It has tons of replay value with the alternate routes you could take and stuff like that. Just the whole universe and world is very just crazy looking. And I like this game better than Saga too. So I chose Panzer Dragoon 2. Definitely a cool game. Not very expensive, so you could find a copy of this decently priced and definitely well worth it. This game used to be more valuable, and the price has actually been coming down on the game. I don't know why, but definitely a cool game. Now, my number 1 is definitely going to be a toss-up between 2 of my favorite games. I picked, and it was very tough for me, but I'll show you the other one in the honorable mention. I picked Magic Knight Rayearth. This is an awesome action RPG. It's very colorful and anime-like, so if you're an anime fan, you'll really, really enjoy the game. You roll around the thing with 3 players. Unlike most RPGs, you advance and upgrade when you reach certain points in the game, your spells and things like that. Whereas, normal RPG, you gotta kind of do accomplishments, stuff like that, to get things like that. But, oh, also, this is the last game that was made and released for the Sega Saturn. But, yeah, everything all around, very cool game. You can switch between the characters as you're going. Pretty challenging game. It took me a while to get used to this game in the beginning. I really got stuck in the beginning of the game. And after I got out of the beginning, I had a lot of fun with it, and I still enjoy to play it. So that's my top 3. Definitely some cool games. Magic might be up there in price. I'm not really sure what it's worth. Maybe you can get it around $100 something complete. I don't know, I might be off. I do know the value came down on this too from the time that I bought it. But another one, definitely worth playing. So even if you picked it up and didn't like it, you could always resell it. These things sell like crazy. You put it up, you'll sell it if you didn't like it. But I think you would enjoy it. So some of my honorable mentions. I'm going to show you my honorable mentions, and I'm going to show you a game I absolutely hate for the Saturn. And I got 2 copies of it too, and I just can't stand it. And I liked it when I was a kid, and I can't stand it anymore. First honorable mention would be Shinobi Legions. Definitely a cool game. I'm always like the samurai ninja type games. I think it's a game that you would probably enjoy. Loaded, which is pretty awesome game. I actually had this in my playlist not too long ago. You can play 1 or 2 players on this, so you can play with a buddy if you want. But definitely a cool game. Clockwork Knight 2. I play these games with my son all the time. They're very cool. The first one's cool. In my opinion, at this moment, Clockwork 2 is a little bit better than the first one. I kind of tend to switch back and forth. It's a one-player game, and it's just basically toys and stuff like that coming to life. But very cool game. And Albert Odyssey, another cool game. This is another Working Designs game. It's an RPG, and same thing. I enjoy this game too. You're a character named Pike. You're a kid, and in the beginning, your family's murdered and stuff like that. And then I believe he gets taken in by like this family of these things or whatever, and they end up doing something to his sister, and he's got a talking sword. It's just a very cool RPG, another challenging one that you'll have a lot of fun with. But yeah, I would definitely pick that up. This is one of my favorite games. It's a toss-up. And now, the game that I absolutely hate for the Saturn, I would avoid it at all costs. I have 2 copies of this game, and if I wasn't such a hoarder, I would probably just get rid of them, but I'm such a hoarder that I just keep them. I don't know why. That's Myst for the Saturn. I freaking hate this game. I really enjoyed it when I was a kid. My buddy had one, and I tried to play it several times since I was able to get a copy of it, and I just cannot stand it anymore. I don't know why. But, you know, don't take my word for it. If you ever see a copy and it looks appealing to you, make sure you pick it up, because I don't let anybody's opinion sway the way I buy games. So if you do see a game, if you do see it and you think it's something that you might like, you're going to pick it up and try it. But if you hate it, remember I told you so. Alright guys, so that's my video response. I hope you enjoyed it. Thumbs up, all that good stuff for me. I appreciate it, and it helps me out. And Classic Metal Fan 22, I hope that I showed you some games you might be interested in. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. I hate you. I can't do it, guys.